Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the final live stream before the official tournament begins. I don't know why I have that CBI tournament, but yes, my brackets are filling up. It looks like I've done 7 brackets by now. I think tomorrow morning I'm going to come out with my final brackets and do a few different speed run brackets. The calm before the storm. You know what? You're smarter than me. RB, you're smarter than me. Who is winning the first 4 game? Well, Tom, I got the first 2 right last night when I told you guys Colorado State would win and Wagner would win. We will go ahead and I would just say pull this up in a separate stream. So this is the same exact setup as yesterday. Oh wow, Montana State and Grambling already underway. Yeah, I said Montana State would win. It looks like I'm going to be 3-0. Not that it matters. It doesn't matter, but yeah, I do think Montana State's going to win. Kind of surprised Montana State's involved in a first 4 game. Mississippi State Final Four. Did I see Joe Biden's bracket? Yeah, it's all a joke, man. I saw Joe Biden's bracket. What did he have? UConn winning, I think. He didn't pick anything, man. I mean, they have people that do it for him, and then they put it out, try and make him seem relatable. It's like Obama doing it. At least Obama would fill it out live. Your friend has Virginia winning it all. Well, I mean, Virginia was involved in a first 4 game. What am I drinking? I'm drinking Gatorade. Texas Elite 8. You know, it's possible. It's possible for Texas. I think if you're going to go with Texas to the Elite 8, you need to be very conservative in your other regions, I would say. But it's not like Tennessee is this powerhouse. Am I streaming the tournament? Listen, I might be probably the 7 o'clock games. You guys know how the tournament. I'll tell you how the tournament format works. There's 4 like noonish to 1 o'clock window games. Then there's 4 more games right after that. Then they take a slight break like late afternoon, and then there's 4 more early night games, like from 6:50 to 7:30. And then there's 4 more late night window games. So I'm thinking of doing the 7 o'clock games, those 4, and then maybe also the late night games as well. McNeese possibly winning tomorrow. Yeah, it's certainly possible. Who wins the other first 4 games? I would say Montana State and Colorado. But they are both favorites, so it's not like I'm breaking any news. Is Houston the best leverage play in a 20 pool bracket? Well, it depends who the other people are picking. I mean, if you're in a 20 like group team bracket or whatever with 20 other people, it's dependent on who they pick. I mean, if 10 of them pick Houston, then no, it's not a good leverage play. That's dependent on who other people pick if it's that small of a group. Now, if it's 100 people, the best leverage play is probably Arizona. But again, that's leverage. A lot of people don't like doing it. They'd like to just pick their own things. But Arizona technically would be. Look at your bracket. Did you send me that all crumpled up? I might have to take a look at that. Somebody sent me a bracket. It looked like there were cum stains on it. It was crumpled up. It was very. I mean, what are we doing here? The dude takes a photo of a crumpled up bracket, and I'm like I can't even see it. Creighton to the Final Four, unlikely. Auburn or Houston in the championship, or oh no, that would be a final. Yeah, I think that would be a championship game. I would say Houston. Auburn has to get by UConn. Remember. Why did Biden only fill out the women's? No, he didn't. He filled out the men's. He filled out the men's. As I didn't see him fill out the women's. Ted Cruz 2024. I thought you only were here for political streams, man. Shohei Otani's interpreter got fired. Really? Maybe that's on. Maybe I can take a look at that. Oh, yeah, here's another one. Let's take a look at this bracket. Can I zoom in on it? UConn, North Carolina, Houston, Kansas, 3-1 seeds, a 4 seed. Obviously, this dude is a Kansas fan. He disqualifies himself. The Dodgers fired interpreter, whoever that is, because of massive theft. Wow. Yeah, did you see, isn't it hilarious? Shohei Otani is getting $65 million in endorsements, so he's deferred his entire salary. He's making $2 million this year, but he's getting $65 million in endorsements. MLB is just, and the next highest MLB player is like $2 million in endorsements. They're a one-man sport. Love from Michigan. What's up, man? You should get viewers to send in brackets. All right, I'll look at the brackets that people send, but it's where's the one bracket? Like, look at this. I mean, oh, this might not have even been the crumpled up one. I mean, dude, why not just take a screenshot of it? Houston, UConn, Arizona, Tennessee. Yeah, that's. I mean, dude, that's my. Isn't that my bracket? I think that's my bracket. What are we doing here, folks? Come on, you just copied my bracket. I mean, I guess it's good. I agree with you. It's good. It seems like you might be trolling me. You even have St. Mary's going far over North Carolina. Big Sean's bracket on ESPN. Well, there's a way to look at that stuff, I think. Big Sean. Man, they got a bunch of people doing this. Who are these people? I don't even know. These are no names. I'm a bigger influencer than these people, and yet I'm not up here. This is sad to see. I mean, these are just no names. Just complete. Oh, they got Carlos Boozer. When did he get employed by? Who is this? Oh, I don't even know what scientist. Oh, these might be like my fans or something. Mom hiding in bathroom. Yeah, they got a bunch of random ones. Imagine having a perfect bracket in your family group and it being unofficial. Well, I mean, dude just copied my bracket, sent me it, and then he's like, review it. I mean, I'll give you an A+. I mean, it's the same bracket. Bracket people sent you. I don't know what is this? UConn, Houston, Arizona, Purdue. I mean, it's pretty chalky, man. Listen, it's not bad. I do like Arizona, and you have a very similar bracket to me. St. Mary's. This is a pretty good bracket, man. I think it might be a little bit too well, you do have Florida, but guys, I'm starting to lose faith on Florida. How many of us are going to pick Florida? We're just looking like NPCs at this point. I don't think Florida's going to do it. There's too many of us that are picking Florida. I think this dude he sent me it twice. I'm not going to click on any links, man. I'm not clicking on any links from my email, that's for sure. You see the new trailer for the Alien movie? That was a fake trailer, you realize that, right? That was a fan-made trailer. It looked like crap. Unless there's a brand new one that just came out. I'm assuming you wouldn't want a girlfriend who does OF. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants a girlfriend who does OF, man. Who do you like in Illinois, Iowa State? I don't know. Flip a coin. It's defense versus offense. I probably like Illinois, but... Will you make any changes to Florida? Well, Noah, I really can't make any changes. I mean, let's be honest. When I released that video, I have like 100K views on that video. If I made changes, it's just disingenuous. Now, for someone that doesn't do videos, I think you could change it. But like, if I changed it, it would just be like, well, people would be pretty pissed off. Samford over Kansas, too risky? No, not at all. I think most people are now picking Samford because of the injuries to Kansas. You sent me an email, a link, though I did a test link and it didn't work. I don't know if I got that. You got Florida losing in the first round. Well, you may actually be smart for doing that, honestly, because they could very easily... They might actually be the underdogs against Colorado. That would be like a pick'em game. It seriously will be. Have you ever paid for OF? No. All these NPCs pick UConn. Yeah, I agree. I mean, what's the point of picking UConn if they're 1/4 of the submissions are... It's actually gone down. I think people are starting to realize, or maybe there's just a bunch of troll brackets. I think people are just making troll brackets. Like, the legit brackets, I would imagine probably 28% of the public is picking UConn. Again, the troll brackets are going to skew it down. I mean, more people, it does seem like, are picking Houston now. I'd imagine people are starting to hedge, and that's why. It's kind of annoying. Originally, it was like Houston was at 11%. Do you recommend to change your bracket? I wouldn't change anything. If I looked at your bracket, I don't think I wouldn't change anything. Can Colorado beat Tennessee? Is that what that question is? Would you have Florida losing to Boise State or Colorado? Yeah, to hedge. It's great leverage to have that. Absolutely. I mean, I don't have it because I mean, Florida is a very risky team, but just in terms of leverage, the amount of us that are just being complete robots and picking Florida to go deep, because they do technically have the qualities to go deep. If you want to go against that, you're going to get great leverage. Grambling or Montana State? Montana State should win. I would love to play for Long Beach State. They play in a pyramid. When should you bounce UConn? Then you need to bounce UConn probably when they face Auburn in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8, either one. What would you change Florida going to the Elite 8 for? Well, let me look at my if I don't have Florida going to the Elite 8, I'd probably pick Texas Tech or Kentucky, honestly. Kentucky's just so bad on defense. I might say to do Texas Tech or Kentucky. I don't like Marquette, obviously. I mean, if you want to go Marquette, that's fine. It depends how chalky your other regions are. Just remember, Marquette's a 2 seed, so if your other regions are really chalky, you might want to balance it. You sent it on Discord. Let me make sure my volume is down. Yeah, you got it in my Discord. That's good, man. My Discord is not accepting people. I don't know. Where is the... Do you know what page you sent it on? Maybe the sports page? We got a troll. Is this yours? Leverage play using Vegas odds. UConn, BYU. I like that. Texas Tech. Damn, you have Texas Tech to the Final Four against Creighton? Yeah, I honestly can't hate this bracket. It does seem like you did use leverage to create this bracket. I'm not gonna lie. Best 16 seed to pull off an upset? I don't think there is one. Maybe Montana State if they win this game. They're kind of a better. There were supposed to be better 16 seeds, but a lot of the 16 seeds moved up to 15 seeds because there were so many upsets, I think. Like, South Dakota State was supposed to be a 16 seed. Why is picking UConn and NPC? Well, just understand that even with UConn being the favorite in the tournament, you know, they still only have like a 17% chance to win. So if they only have like a 17% chance to win and people are picking them at 25, 26% chance, that's terrible value. It doesn't make any sense to do that. The tournament is so random. It's not like, I mean, they've got like a 1 in 5, 1 in 6 chance to win. Let's be honest. McNeese or James Madison as Cinderella. I agree with that. One of those two I would pick, yeah. I can't review any brackets on ESPN. They're not public. You're not allowed to see other people's brackets like in groups. Do you think Juwan Howard? I think Juwan Howard's probably going to go back to the NBA and be a bench coach. Your school blocked March Madness Live. Really? Don't you just use a VPN, I'd say. Opinions on Kansas upset in the first round? Well, certainly it's possible. I mean, look at the injuries and look at the point spread. It's down to about 7. It's one of the better upsets that people are picking, obviously, because of the injuries and the news that came out. Alabama Final Four, it's very tough for Alabama to make the Final Four with their defense. Similar to Kentucky, but Bama, I think, is worse. Although they might have a better offense. I don't know. You sent to your bracket in the Discord. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you. This is good. You actually screenshotted it. I don't like clicking on links. That's the problem. So it looks like you've got. Listen, it's not bad. I can't hate on that bracket. I would not have Iowa State going that far, but there's nothing horribly wrong about it. Mississippi State, what in the hell? I would change that region a bit. If you want to go with a crazy upset, like a crazy Final Four team, I would pick New Mexico. And then you do have Tennessee. And Oregon. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not the worst thing in the world. Mississippi State is a team that I would change out. Yeah, Mississippi. I mean, I understand people want to pick lower seeds because we've seen it with Florida Atlantic. I get it. Not basketball related. Do you think the Rays are going to stay in St. Petersburg? Very unlikely. Very unlikely that they're going to stay there. That'll be a good story. I mean, even the Rays are so irrelevant. It's hard to really do videos on them. Nobody really cares. I hate to say that, but it's crazy how little demand there is, and then they still want to commit to the area for 30 years. I mean, you got to take the hint at some point and just cut your losses. You know, now is the perfect time. UNC or Arizona? Arizona. Your sleeper teams are Clemson and Duquesne. Oakland has a little value. Yeah, I mean, I do know everyone is picking against Clemson, so maybe you could find value in that. But yeah, I did pick against Clemson. Clemson, I think, is under. They're underdogs as a 6 seed. But guys, listen. Let me say something. This is what I was told today in my YouTube comments. Somebody told me that BYU has to be a 6 seed because something about they can't play on Sunday with Mormons and things like that. So that's the only reason why BYU's a 6 seed. And then Duquesne's an 11 seed, probably. That's basically a 5v12 matchup. You understand, BYU's really a 5 seed. Duquesne is really a 12 seed. But because of the BYU situation, I guess, with not being able to play on Sunday, they had to switch it. And that's why they bumped Duquesne all the way up to the 11 line. So it does make sense. It's really like a 5v12 matchup. Western Kentucky over Marquette and then beating whatever team. Well, I do have Western Kentucky beating Marquette. And yes, listen, Western Kentucky analytically makes the most sense against the 2 seed. They're the best 15 seed in the tournament. Now, that's not to say they're going to win. And who knows? I mean, we saw a few years ago, St. Peter's was the worst 15 seed, and they ended up going deep. But analytically, Western Kentucky, and you look at how Western Kentucky finished the season very strong. And Marquette, it's dealing with injuries as well. But I'm not saying it's going to happen. I did predict it because I wanted a 15/2. How good is Dayton? Well, they've struggled. I mean, listen, Dayton was going to be a 4 seed at one point. They were playing very well. All right, we'll see. People are saying to look at the Discord. Another bracket submitted here in the Discord. Looks like we have a UConn-Illinois matchup and a Houston-Marquette. Very chalky. You've got NC State going on a run. It's understandable, I guess. You know, a little bit chalky, but I can't hate on it too much. And then Kansas, was that before the injuries? It seems surprising, man. Seems unlikely, but who knows? And you do have Tennessee. It seems like we all have Tennessee making the Final Four just kind of randomly. That region is weird. And then you do have Houston beating UConn. So yeah, you know, that we're kind of thinking the same thing. You know, we're thinking the same thing. We have the same exact Final Four. We have the same exact national champion. But it looks like you are higher on NC State than I am. I like Texas Tech. And I also did have Washington State beating Iowa State. I might come to regret that pick. But I kind of had to make it. Otherwise, it'd be... Oh, my goodness. Looks like you're playing on... what is this? This is like March Madness live site or something. CBS, maybe. You do have Iowa State, North Carolina, a 2v1. You do have Kentucky. Kentucky is not going to make the Final Four, man. It is a horrible... Well, I don't know. Maybe you're in a different bracket group than ESPN. It's a very bad leverage play to pick Kentucky to make the Final Four. The bottom of the bracket, North Carolina, Dayton. Well, I mean, listen, Dayton's a really random pick. Clemson as well. Clemson as well. That's pretty crazy, man. Purdue, Creighton. I'm not a fan of Creighton. And then Purdue over North Carolina. Yeah, listen, it's... I mean, what is this person doing? Look, this person's going to have to get timed out or something. Somebody's going to have to do something to this person. Yeah, this person's going to have to be timed out. But yeah, that's an interesting bracket, man. You sent me your bracket via Gmail. I'll tell you, Gmail sucks. It just doesn't even load. Thing is, guys, I'm not clicking on any links on Gmail. Freaking. This is just a screenshot. Let me zoom this in. Looks like you have Tennessee, Houston. You've got the same Final Four as me. Yeah, I mean, it looks like you do have Colorado going decent. I mean, I can barely read this, man, but because just the blur. Yeah, you've got basically the same bracket as me, man. So it looks pretty good. You have McNeese in the Sweet 16. Yeah, no, you can't click links on Gmail. If I click a link on Gmail, I will legitimately if I click the wrong link, I should say, my Gmail will be hacked. That's how YouTubers get hacked. You ever see YouTubers and they got like 300K, 500K, and it turns into a crypto scam account, and they have like a CEO, and they do the voiceover thing? It's because some Indian sends an email, hacks it, they click on it, they're like, oh, here's an investment opportunity, or here's a opportunity to, do some type of sponsorship. That's how they, and all you have to do, it is crazy, and it's almost dumbfounding. How do you give your account away by clicking on a link? I guess because it downloads something, but still, that's very surprising. You'd think it would be harder to get into a secure. That's why they need to change it to where YouTubers can have like more of a secured account rather than linking your YouTube account to Gmail. It doesn't make any sense. That's ridiculous. You sent me, well, yeah, I mean, these are Auburn. It's understandable. Houston. Yeah, that's a good bracket, man. I'm not going to, I like that bracket. Other than Creighton. I mean, but listen, who knows about the Midwest region, so I think that's a good bracket. You got an upset with Auburn. You've got Arizona, the leverage play. I'm not even sure. Your modified bracket. Well, dude, somebody's got to ban this dude. All right, here's your modified bracket. What did you change about it? I don't even know, man. You still have Mississippi State. I wouldn't send it in the Discord, man. The Discord's a mess. The committee did a terrible job this year. Well, I mean, everyone says that every year. Thoughts on Auburn winning the whole thing? It's unlikely. It is unlikely. I mean, analytically, you would think they'd be a good fit, but it's unlikely. Will the Big Ten make noise? Yeah. The Big Ten doesn't have enough good teams to really do anything, other than Purdue and Illinois, I guess. Maybe Michigan State goes on a run. I really can't see Wisconsin doing anything. If my life was on the line, who is winning, North Carolina or Arizona? Wow. That is a guard-heavy matchup. I would probably say it's hard to say, man. Probably Arizona. But it's one of those things where if you play 10 times, they probably go 5-5 against each other. You want me to review an ESPN celebrity Well, dude, there's so many of them. It's kind of it's kind of dumb. Like there's just too many of them. Oh, was it Big Sean they wanted me to review? Yeah, he's probably just a Michigan State fan. These people, they're alums of schools, so they, Michigan State versus Purdue, an all Big Ten national title, huh? Yeah, I mean, you look for a 2/15, but none of these people have the balls to pick one. Or you look for a 15/2, I should say. Virginia laid an egg. Well, what did we expect with Virginia? People got pissed off that they were even in the tournament. What teams are underseeded? Auburn, BYU, New Mexico, all underseeded. Yeah, man, I think listen, I think McNeese might beat Purdue. All right? I could really use. I don't need to see that question every 3 seconds. That's the thing. It's like I keep seeing the same question. Yes, I mean McNeese could beat Purdue. I don't know. I think I picked it, but it's not. It's not a lock or anything. Are you not concerned about Houston's offense? Well, of course there has to be some concern, but still analytically they're a top 15 offensive team. This is not like a Virginia situation where they're great and horrible. They're still a top 15 team on offense in terms of efficiency. Your new bracket now has Illinois beating Iowa State and Kentucky beating Florida and Kansas beating Samford and Wisconsin beating JMU. Yeah, I mean, if you want to front run us and change out Florida, then go ahead. There's just a lot of people picking Florida, me included. It's like there's a Florida barrage that we've created where everyone is picking Florida, and there's just good leverage if you go against them. Because again, in their first round matchup, think about how many of us are picking Florida to go to the Elite Eight. Florida is going to be a pick 'em in their first game, unless they face Boise State. Then they might be like 3-point favorites. Gonzaga has gone to 8 straight Sweet 16s. I actually think that's a bullish sign for McNeese to beat them. Do we really think Gonzaga is going to continue a crazy streak like that? I feel like it's due to end. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of how I think. I think a little bit differently. Could you review the Dude, I really don't want to open up Discord. I mean, what is this? This dude is sending me... This is like a crypto spammer. Houston, Illinois. Wow, Illinois going. Listen, South Dakota State. This has got to be a troll bracket, right, man? I mean, look, South Dakota State, I like it, man. Remember when I said Iowa State would lose in round 1? Well, you actually predicted it. I like that. And you do have Colorado, or I don't know who that is, but yeah, it's a decent bracket, man. It's a decent top, I'm not gonna lie. TCU, yeah. You do have North Carolina, so you got some chalk there. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. There's no way TCU is going to the Final Four, man. I know everyone wants the 9 seed or the 8 seed because of Florida Atlantic. I mean, it's a fun bracket. I appreciate that bracket. We've all become NPCs here, and someone flexes a bracket like this, I respect it. This will probably finish, well, I mean, it depends. You might have two, you might be able to get 2 Final Four teams. I would say Houston, and then there's like a 10% chance North Carolina, 5% chance Illinois, I would say. But I mean, if you get 1 Final Four team, this is going to finish not well. But it's still a fun bracket. Duke has the juice. Yeah, I was thinking about Duke, man. Maybe I'll regret that, but I was turned off by their ACC tournament play. I was liking Duke, and I had said it in a few maybe updates of the bracketology. I was like, I don't know, man. The way Duke is set up as a 4 seed that no one is talking about, and they've got leadership, they've got a senior guard, they've got upperclassmen mixed with glue guys. But then there was that whole Flapowski incident where he lied and they wanted to ban court storming, and it kind of turned me off of them, honestly. But maybe I'll regret it. I don't know. My issue with Creighton is they're your typical Big East run-of-the-mill 3 or 4 seed that loses early. Let's just call it what it is. We've seen the tournament enough to realize this. Utah State to the Elite Eight. Listen, I can't be surprised if Purdue loses, right? None of us can be surprised, so it could happen. You had a bracket 93 percentile, only 1 Final Four pick. Wow, I'm shocked you only got the 93rd percentile if you had 3 final... There's no way. You would have gotten at least... Well, you probably didn't have the championship, right? That's the problem. Iowa State will lose early. Fine by me. Do you have a March Madness group? Yeah, I do. I mean, dude, there's already 1,100 people in it. It got loaded up with people. It's actually gonna be very hard to win. I'm actually thinking I might not win it now. If there's that many people in it, seriously, guys, I might not win my own challenge. It's sad. It's a sad reality. Do I think Oakland's offense will be too much? Oakland isn't facing Michigan State. You like Texas over Tennessee? You're struggling with Kentucky and Oakland? Now, I would pick Kentucky, man. I would pick Kentucky over Oakland. I mean, I can understand why you would struggle with it because Kentucky has no defense. Why the hit on Iowa State? You smoked Houston. Your offense is lackluster. But when you're hitting now... Well, yeah, that's the problem. Your offense is not good. You're outside of the top 50 in terms of offensive efficiency. That's drastically bad for a 2 seed. Yeah, but we don't need 50 spam. We're not going to do 50 spam comments though, man. I answered your question. See, that's the thing. I answer the question and then I get 10 more spam comments. And then we get a 30-minute timeout. Is there another... Okay, let's see. Auburn over Iowa State. Houston over Kentucky. I think Kentucky is a very risky pick to go that deep, man. They do not have a good defense. I understand people like their offense. Bottom region, Arizona. I like Arizona a lot. Tennessee. I like Tennessee. Tennessee over Purdue. So that's chalk. I mean, 2/1. St. Mary's going far. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. ESPN's analytics actually suggest that St. Mary's possibly will beat North Carolina. Like, now, we have to understand, St. Mary's had a very easy schedule, so they were able to run up good numbers analytically. The Iowa State fan got triggered. Well, it's just ridiculous. He asked me one thing, I answered it, and then there's 7 more of the same spam because he wants his question answered, and I'm just not going to put up with it. FAU over UConn, then beat by Auburn. I don't know, man. I don't know about FAU doing it again. It would really surprise me if FAU beat UConn, honestly. Grand Canyon to the Sweet 16. Well, I mean, it's possible, man. They are a Cinderella type team. I didn't predict it, but... South Dakota State escapes the Iowa State defense. Utah State or TCU. I mean, it's an 8v9 game. I think, whoever you want to pick is who I think I picked Utah State. I believe TCU is the favorite in that game analytically, though. If you want to, even though they're the 9 seed, TCU is the favorite analytically. We've got more brackets on Discord, apparently. For a casual. UConn beating... Yeah, there's no way Kentucky makes it, man. It's just... Kentucky, I guess, can make it. It would be shocking. South Carolina, Clemson, yeah. I don't know about this one, man. But you say you're a casual. You got some upsets in here. Just not the right upsets. Houston winning it all. What even is... Oh, this is ESPN. This doesn't even look like it. Houston, Tennessee, UConn, Arizona. Yeah, this is basically my bracket, brother. You do have Iowa State going a little bit deeper. You've got the James Madison upset. You've got the Florida upset. You do have Creighton going deeper than me. I mean, but like, how am I supposed to review it? It's basically my bracket outside of a few things. I mean, I endorse it for sure. You've got Drake going to the Final Four, James Madison to the Elite Eight. Oh my goodness, man. This has got to be a troll. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, this has got to be. Come on. Yeah, come on. Duquesne, yeah, now people are just trolling with these brackets. I mean, it took about a few different attempts. Oh, this one looks legitimate. Purdue, Texas Tech. Yeah, Texas Tech went on a run, what, like 4 years ago? They made the national title. Auburn, Arizona. I think you need another one seed, man. But you want to go with the whole angle that Purdue is going to be the next Virginia, losing the first round. Florida, the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight. I mean, I think I have them in the Elite Eight, actually. Kentucky and Bama can both lose in the first round, both go to the Final Four. See, I don't think they can go to the Final Four, but I know what you're saying. I think they can both probably go to the Elite Eight. I just don't think their defense is good enough. Should I change my bracket to Florida over Kentucky? Well, it depends. How many other upsets do you have in it? I know I picked Houston to win it all, but what are my thoughts on Nebraska or A&M giving them a run? Well, I'm hoping it doesn't happen. Look, of course an 8 or a 9 seed could give a 1 seed a run and scare them. ESPN analytics like McNeese to go far? Do they really? Yeah, McNeese grades out. Well, I didn't realize McNeese was liked. I know St. Mary's is liked. But you also have to understand, even with a team like McNeese, analytics love teams that dominate. And McNeese dominated, but they dominated really bad teams. So their analytics might be coked up a little bit because they faced bad opponents. You have to understand. You got to take that into account as well. Why so high on McNeese? Well, I mean, McNeese is like Grand Canyon. They're 30-4. They're a good offensive team. No, I think McNeese is better than Grand Canyon, actually. Your bracket was real. You think Drake will make a Final Four run? Yeah, but you also had a bunch of other crap in there, I think. Do I still trust Florida? Well, I don't trust Florida. No, I don't trust Florida. And if you look at their roster, they're extremely guard heavy. I know they lost to center. I get it. But I was also told in the chat that they've got good depth there. Who is the best team under a 1 seed? I would say Arizona, probably. I mean, Arizona did lose to Oregon, though, but... Dude, we're not doing a chat bracket. Oh, of course I'm doing a second chance. The biggest flex in the world, if you have a perfect bracket and the second chance bracket comes out and you don't have to fill it out because you already have a perfect bracket. No, I'll be doing the second chance bracket, I'm sure. FAU over UConn if they play. Very unlikely. I would say no. Arizona lost to USC too. Yeah, they did lose to USC late in the season. Drake over Iowa State, upset. Yeah, very, very possible, man. Very possible. We can see, looks like Montana State. I mean, listen, I'm looking to go 3-0 here. I am. It's not going to count, but it's still good. It's good to see me picking those correct. How about Bradley destroying Loyola Chicago in the NIT? SMU beating Indiana State. How the mighty have fallen. Oh, not the CIT. Jesus Christ. We got the CIT happening. Just useless brackets. Savage, what's up, man? Dude, the Discord is fucking... Guys, listen, with the Discord, I think... I don't know what I'm going to do with the Discord at this point. A&M to the chip. Well, basically impossible. Yeah, man, the chat bracket would take 3 hours. It was tried last night. It's not going to happen. I would need almost a moderator to do it. Or something. But I would need someone like with me doing it. NIT Ohio State versus Cincinnati final. That's a great idea, man. That'd be very fun to see. Dude, I saw a list of the amount of teams that declined the NIT. It's sad. It was like 20 teams. No wonder they're taking Georgia. That's the one thing I was looking at, and I was like, how the hell did Georgia make the NIT? Like, I know the NIT is obviously a worse, NCAA tournament, but I was like, well, that makes sense now. There was literally... California declined the NIT. I think last year they were 3-29. This year they had a bounce back year. They declined the NIT. If you had to change one pick, what would it be? I would have, this is what I would change. If I could just change one pick, I would change this right here. I would have McNeese beating Kansas. Obviously, I mean, that's an injury thing though, Not counting injuries, I would change this. Yeah, but that's not what I meant by moderator. I would need a legit person that like someone that has that's a social media person working for my account, on my account, and has like a login and can actually go into it. Our moderators are all just, I've given them privileges through. It's not like I have hired anyone to actually, because other YouTubers have people on their chat logged in and everything. Schools don't care about the NIT. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the portal. Look at the CIT bracket. Yeah, I believe there was one bye. Did you see High Point got a bye? I think High Point should win that tournament. Kentucky to the chip. No, don't do that. Final Four, Yale, Clemson, Marquette, Gonzaga. I'd like to see where your bracket finishes. Yeah, I'm hoping Colorado doesn't win tonight. What about South Dakota State taking down Iowa State? Listen, if you're going to pick a 15 over a 2, either take Western Kentucky or South Dakota State. Yeah, I'm not going to open the Discord. Guys, my Discord is a fucking virgin cesspool of shit. But isn't that, I guess that's what they all devolve into. Discord is crazy. Yeah, I'm sure. I saw people started spamming stuff on it. Wisconsin to the Elite Eight. Let me show the bottom of it. And I'm not changing anything, so you don't have to worry about that. Obviously, I mean, I already made the picks on friggin'... I made the picks on Sunday night. Am I high on Florida? Well, it's a loaded question. I think if Florida can get by the first round, then yes, they'll do very well. But listen, my message to you would be pick against Florida. The leverage is just so great because the general public overshot Florida severely. Everyone picked Florida. That's the problem, to go deep. They're a 7 seed. Maybe we'll all be right. I don't know. Is it true that you predicted Purdue to lose? As a troll, it is not legitimately. Nobody could predict an upset like that. I mean, that's... Like, imagine somebody is filling out their bracket just randomly, puts a video out on YouTube, and they're like, You know what? Like, legitimately, no troll. I do like Wagner to beat North Carolina. Like, legitimately. And then it actually happens. And it's like they actually... Because the only time somebody's going to pick a 16 over a 1 is if they're trolling. But I wonder if, because there's been a few 16 over 1 upsets, you know... Florida beats Kentucky. I mean, it's going to be 90 to 85. It's just going to be a high-scoring shootout if that game happens. Why Oregon over Creighton? I just don't like Creighton. I could see Creighton losing to Akron. I think it's going to be an overtime game. I've got a feeling it's... Think about that Creighton-Akron game. Did you see the spread on that? It went down 2 points. There was a lot of sharps betting on Akron. It was 14.5, and now it's 12.5. So there's a lot of money coming in on Akron. It doesn't surprise me. You made a bet with your friend. Said the champion would come out of the East. He said it wouldn't. If yes, you get 150. Well, he definitely made a good bet. He's got good odds there. You said it would come out of the East. I mean, so you're betting on Auburn. Yeah, you're betting on Auburn or probably UConn. I can't see any other team winning the national title. It's an interesting bet. I would like his side of it, honestly. Unless you're really... I understand UConn is, watch out for Auburn. Oh, I know, analytically, they're amazing. Analytically, they're amazing, but they're very strange to where their profile actually doesn't work well. It's very weird. Like, they only profile with one other Final Four team in the past 10 years, meaning they have similar attributes and 0 national champions. Now, it's only a 10-year period, but it is interesting. What about the women's bracket? I think I picked Texas to win it all. I did it on stream. It took me like a minute to do. We're not doing a chat bracket. You picked the 15 seed last year and no one believed in me. You had them going to the Elite Eight. Yeah, well, I mean, that was a crazy year last year. So you picked you picked Princeton then? I mean, dude, there's no sense in me. I don't watch women's basketball, so what's the point in me filling it out? I did fill one out. Listen, I'll show you my bracket for the, it's not a big deal, but this is the only bracket I did. And the reason I picked Texas was because everyone was going to pick South Carolina. I know they're undefeated, but it's extremely chalky. Texas over Iowa. I did have Green Bay randomly going on a little run. Green Bay. But it's really chalky, man. Oh my god, dude. We're not doing that again. Guys, the chat bracket is not going to happen. It's going to take 3 hours. People want their questions answered. It's which Paul brother is Mike Tyson fighting? Jake. Predicted Miami to the Final Four and FAU to the Elite Eight last year. Happy to say the championships. How did you predict Miami to the Final Four, man? Guys, it's a waste. We're not doing a chat bracket. It's going to take way too long. You got Colorado over Florida. Yeah, man, I mean, that's the leverage play. That's the ultimate leverage play. Hey, Dev. I have noticed what you've been doing, man. Let me tell you something, Dev. You can enjoy it, man. There's me checking Discord. I checked your Discord right there. Thoughts on Arizona winning it all? Solid. What do I think of BYU over Illinois? It could happen. BYU's a really good team. They should be a 5 seed. Can you review? Did you email me your bracket? If it, listen, I think a lot of people might have emailed me it. I don't know. Am I still taking McNeese in round 1? Yeah, listen, anytime there's a 5v12 matchup, it's going to be popular, man. The 12 seed's going to be popular. And I mean, I am still taking McNeese. Feel like play-in always wins, so you feel like a play-in always wins, so is it dumb to take Colorado State over Texas? I just hate the play-in teams because when I fill out my bracket, it's hard to pick a play-in team to go deep. But yes, it does make sense to pick the play-in teams. They normally do tend to win some of these games because it's just the law of averages. Nobody's going to pick them. Arizona national champion, Houston, Creighton, Drake. Yeah, you went pretty crazy with Drake there. There's no doubt about that. I like the St. Mary's pick. Mississippi State, wow. Mississippi State beating Carolina. Creighton over Purdue. Creighton over Tennessee. Colorado State going. I guess Colorado State only winning 1 game. Yeah, man, I don't know about Drake, honestly. That seems unnecessary. It seems like you would be much better off giving yourself a chance at another Final Four team with Auburn or UConn. That would be my opinion. Or even, well, I don't think Illinois is worth it. Look, I understand people want to choose lower seeds. I get it. It's very hard to see Drake beating Illinois, Auburn. I mean, it could happen, but Bama winning it all. Yeah, this is a troll bracket. McNeese, Paper Tiger. Well, I mean, they certainly don't have a good schedule. I'll give you that. Why are you saying don't pick Florida? Well, it just doesn't make sense. Think about it. If Florida has a 50% chance to win their first game, and a ridiculous amount of us are picking them not only to win their first game, but also go to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8, if you pick against Florida, you've got a major advantage in terms of odds. But look, if you believe Florida's going to make it and they make it, then that's fine. It's just there's so many of us picking them. You want a Tyson Holyfield? Well, wasn't Holyfield trying to fight again as well? That is interesting. Auburn, BYU, North Carolina, Zona, Houston, Marquette, Utah State, Creighton. Yeah, I think that checks out, man. That's decent. You have Duquesne winning it all. You're a beast, man. What can I say? Drake versus Longwood in the title game. Let's go live stream. Your first time to a live stream. Congratulations are in order to you for being here. Safest path to the Final Four is a 1 seed. It's certainly not UConn. I think it's got to be Houston, man. Houston has Wisconsin as a 5. I guess you could argue Duke's a good 4. Marquette a 2. Kentucky's a flawed 3. I think it's got to be Houston, man. When I saw Houston's bracket, I was like, or region, I was like, they're going to run through it. Florida injured? Not really. Their 5th best player. I think you got to, just because one player gets injured, we can't just completely discount the team. If it was one of their guards, I would agree. But it's not. Yeah, I saw the Arizona renderings. I might decide to do a video tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do with the tournament is I'm going to go live at 7 o'clock. Montana State is destroying Grambling 50-37. All right. Coin flip had Washington State and Duke. It's just always so random. It's funny. Did you see the vibe? Yeah, man. I mean, is that supposed to be a troll? You posted that yesterday as well. There's no, I mean, a viral video. Come on. Yale at South Dakota State in your Elite Eight. It makes perfect sense. Love the atmosphere behind you. Well, yeah, I love space. You can see RB in my thumbnails. I always try and incorporate, space and things like that and stars. It just looks so nice. Tennessee or Kentucky? No, I don't think Kentucky's going to make the Final Four, man. I would be surprised if Kentucky made the Final Four. But I will look at an update on this. It does look like Montana State is really running through Grambling at this point. How about St. Joseph's beating Seton Hall? Look at this game. Boy, these teams don't care about defense. I guess if it's the NIT, that's fine. Loyola Chicago putting up a stinker. And some CIT games. You had Grambling in the Final Four. Oh, dude, you can change it. You can change it. You're hacking the tournament. You're able to change your Final Four team out after they lose. You're a genius. What does UConn stand for? I believe University of Connecticut. Every coin flip you've done has North Carolina. Well, how many have you done? Imagine you do 10 coin flips and it's always North Carolina. I mean, that would be pretty crazy. Samford to the Sweet 16, what's your opinion? Oh, it's possible. I mean, well, who does Samford... Yeah, it's possible, man. Because they've got Kansas, and Kansas is dealing with the injuries. Best 4 seed would be Auburn. And then and then Duke. The other two... Yeah, the other two are flawed significantly. Colorado to the Elite Eight. Oh, it can happen. Colorado's got great guard play. It could happen. I liked Colorado. Listen, if Colorado wasn't in a first 4 game, that was the one team that I was very annoyed they were in a first 4 game because I wanted to pick them. And maybe I should have picked them because there's great value on the first 4 teams. Michigan State, San Diego State. I don't think San Diego State's a Final Four sleeper. Texas. Listen, I could see Michigan State and Texas being Final Four sleepers. I cannot see San Diego State making it again. Who's coming out of the East? I have UConn, but you also do have Auburn there. You also do have Illinois. Why New Mexico over Clemson? I mean, I think New Mexico is probably straight up better than Clemson, honestly, man. I don't even think it's an upset. A lot of people have that, though. I will agree. Auburn winning in the first round. Well, I mean, it's a 4v13. Obviously, we're going to probably pick them to win. Nobody seems to talk about South Carolina. Are they just overseeded? No, their analytics are horrible. That's why nobody talks about South Carolina. Look at their point spread against Oregon. They're 1.5 point favorites against an 11 seed. Don't sleep on Baylor. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like Baylor's pretty irrelevant this year. But listen, Baylor, we saw what they did. They won a title, but they were a lot better that year when they won it. Let's be honest. And I feel like, they're kind of a token 3 seed that's due for an early upset, personally. Did I see the new ESPN score bug? Was it different? It looked the same, I thought. I didn't watch that game at all. I thought I saw a highlight and I was like, oh, it's the same scoreboard. But listen, we get into a debate where is it a scoreboard or a score bug? I mean, it's a scoreboard. Let's be honest, Why would it be called a score bug? What's the connotation? It's a scoreboard on the TV screen. I don't understand, But listen, I'm not going to get into that. Colgate upset too far-fetched? Not really. Again, I'm not high on Baylor. If you want that to be your upset, that's fine. You should autofill Joe Biden's bracket. It's just a chalk bracket done by one of his advisors. Yeah. Probably one of his interns, actually. Probably just some White House intern correspondent bitch. you know. What's the first game tomorrow? I believe it's Michigan's. The 8v9 games are always first. They always do that, which is, it's understandable, I guess. But it just, they always do the 8v9 games first. Yeah, it is. Mississippi State, Michigan State. MSU -1.5. Wow, they got Duquesne playing right away against BYU. This could be our first chance at an upset, I would say. Akron and Creighton. This will probably be a bloodbath. Pretty unwatchable. This is pretty. I mean, these back-to-back games are brutal. Another. Boy, the afternoon window. Have you guys seen this? Wow. I did not realize this. That's 4 straight games. 14, 15, 16 seed, 14 seed. And then you've got this kind of pick'em game. You've got there's another pick'em game. There's another pick'em game. And then you do have the 7 o'clock window. So maybe I'll go live at 6:50 to catch this will be a good game. Colorado State, Texas. To me, it really doesn't matter who wins. I don't have either of those teams going far. I want Kentucky to win. I want McNeese to win. I would like to see Iowa State lose, honestly, because it would look good for me because I've been against them. I need Tennessee to win. I would like to see Texas Tech win. I would like to see Kansas win, and I would like to see Washington State win. Thoughts on Gonzaga to your Elite Eight? I'm not high on Gonzaga this year personally. Simulation you're doing has Duquesne beating BYU. Analytically, Purdue, Zona, Houston can only win the Natty. No, that's false. Stephen A had all 1 seeds. Yeah, I mean, he's not even doing it. It's some intern doing it for him. Anyone tell me I look like Russell from Up? I've never gotten that, no. Yeah, if I put my email, I'm gonna get destroyed with bracket requests. How do you like St. Mary's in the Final Four? I like St. Mary's a lot. Analytically, I'm like it's hard because they play in such a bad conference. I think if you want to have a really bold pick, you can go ahead with St. Mary's. But is it really worth it? It's not. If you're playing for money, it's not. Iowa State and St. Mary's in your Final Four. Those are tough picks, man. Discord is being moderated. Yeah, I feel like that's probably a troll. I'm not doing a chat bracket, man. It's a pain in the ass. It takes too long. People want their questions answered. Is it worth getting ESPN Plus? Dude, I mean, it's only, what is it, $11? I don't even know the benefits. I don't watch TV outside of, like, if it's obviously March Madness, I'll be watching TV, but I definitely do not look like Russell from Up. Well, I saw Up when I was way younger, but I don't remember what Russell looks like, so I can't comment on that. Illinois, Baylor could lose. Illinois, I don't think is going to lose to Moorhead. I would be very surprised. Kansas got smoked by Houston. I mean, when we talk about 1-game sample sizes, we got to remember these teams have played 33, 34 games. Do you think it hurts Hawaii being in the Big West instead of Mountain West in basketball? I mean, it probably helps. It probably helps them, man. They would get slaughtered in the Mountain West. And they're not going to do better in recruiting either. Grambling making a comeback. Do I think Sanford can win? Of course Sanford can win. They're 6-point underdogs. That game is that's a 9:55 game. That's good news for Kansas. I saw Grambling made a comeback. Yes. Cole, I appreciate it. BYU over Illinois and Nevada over Arizona in the second round. What do you think? BYU over Illinois? Listen, BYU is a solid team. So, yeah, BYU possibly over Illinois. I don't have it personally. Nevada over Arizona. No, I would not go with Nevada over Arizona. But I understand Nevada's played better in the second half of the year. Nevada and New Mexico are both really intriguing Mountain West teams. Yeah, you're modding it. You're moderating it. Yeah, maybe someone moderated it. Let's. Yeah, some people are. Oh wow, it does look it looks better now, man. Seems like a lot of people are sending me brackets. I'll just quickly look at your Final Fours. UConn, Iowa State, Houston, Florida. I would change out Florida, brother. Who do you have down here? Michigan State, Arizona, Texas, Gonzaga. Wow. You're going pretty bold. Well, I guess not really. Yeah, no, it's understandable to have a 7 seed if you've got a 2 and then 2 1s. Yeah, it's a commendable bracket. I think that's the sweet spot final. Houston and Arizona. Because think about it. You have to be realistic. Houston is still, realistically, if we're trying to get any type of value. Well, the one dude you should ban if he's posting that, man. I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know about Russell, man. I don't think I look like that. I don't know. But I don't know who that is. UConn. Oh, I think I reviewed this one, right? UConn beating Illinois. Houston beating Texas Tech. I like that. And I like that you have Colorado or Boise State going deep. But listen, I still have Florida. I do have Florida, but it just... There's things that suggest Alabama. I don't think that's going to happen, man. Now, I will say Alabama has an amazing offense, but I don't think Alabama is going to happen. Creighton, it seems unlikely, but it's more possible than Alabama. And then you do have UConn winning. I would change out UConn winning. You've got Auburn over Houston. North Carolina, a 1 seed. Tennessee, a 2 seed. New Mexico going to the Elite Eight. Colorado going pretty deep. It's a decent bracket. UConn, Illinois. Houston, Florida. Man, the thing is, we all got this. A lot of people picking Creighton. A lot of Creighton people. Arizona, a lot of Arizonas. Houston beats UConn in the national title. Not terrible, man. You accidentally sent me the wrong bracket. Here's the main one. Auburn over BYU. Florida over Houston. Wow, man. Florida in the national title against North Carolina. Yeah, I think it might be a bit too much on that one, man. But if it's just for fun, it's not a big deal. Auburn, Houston. New Mexico, Creighton. I've seen a lot of people also pick New Mexico to the Final Four. Yeah, I don't think that's very... I would change out Creighton at least if you want New Mexico. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. I appreciate the person that posted this. St. Bonaventure decline. Why would St. Bonaventure decline? What's the best game tomorrow? South Carolina, Oregon. Well, it depends who your favorite team is, I would say. There is a lot of crap matchups in the middle of at like 2 o'clock, there's bad matchups. Nebraska over Houston. I don't think so. Whoever wins the Clemson-New Mexico game is going to the Elite Eight. Nah, I don't think Clemson would go to the Elite Eight, personally. There's no way he was posting nude pictures of me. That's not... Maybe with my face on a nude body. Steve and I appreciate it. Texas over Tennessee. Good shot to the Final Four. Well, yeah, that's the thing that I was thinking about. This is the region, the Midwest, that's very... You've got Purdue, I don't buy it. Creighton, I don't buy it. If Texas can get by Colorado State, you've got a tough matchup with Tennessee, but if you get by them, I don't really see a problem with them going, they're going to have so much momentum. That's why. So Texas is one of those, if you're looking for a lower seed, New Mexico is such a long shot. It would be Texas. It would be New Mexico. Texas is a 7. New Mexico is an 11. St. Mary's is not necessarily a higher seed, but they're a 5. But I don't think St. Mary's is going to go. New Mexico is underseeded, but a second-round matchup against Baylor will be tough. We'll need Baylor to be upset. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think they could still beat Baylor. But I do think Baylor could get upset. Illinois chances versus Iowa State. I think pretty good chances. Yeah, I'm sure there is more, man. I mean, Jesus. Your Final Four is Auburn, North Carolina, Houston, and Creighton. I don't see an issue with that. You've got 2 1 seeds. You've got a 4. You've got a 3. You do have Kentucky going kind of deep. You've decided to go, kind of with my pick, with Washington State over Iowa State. I could see Drake over Iowa State, Washington State over Iowa State, BYU over Illinois. It's possible. James Madison going on a slight run. Yeah, I think this is a decent bracket, man. I don't know about Creighton, personally. But who really knows? Dude simulated this. Oh, man, this simulator... Maybe I should do this simulator tomorrow. I should break this out. 81 to 39. You know the issue with that, the fatal flaw with that simulator? You can't search teams. You have to scroll. Maybe they've changed it. I doubt it, because that's an old site. Auburn, Houston. It's understandable. Auburn and Houston in the national title. North Carolina and Tennessee. It's understandable. I might actually, maybe New Mexico over North Carolina, but if you want to be safe because you've already got a 4 seed, I realize you want to be safe. Auburn versus Arizona. Houston versus Texas. Yeah, not terrible. I could see it happening. James Madison going on a run. Florida going on a run to the Elite Eight. St. Mary's going on a run. Yeah, this is a solid bracket. This is a good bracket, man. St. Mary's going to the Final Four. Creighton going to the Final Four. UConn and Houston in the national title. New Mexico going on a run. I mean, how many of us are we going to have New Mexico go on a run? Smashing Morehead State beating Illinois? Is that a troll? That's very unlikely, man. Favorite Cinderella? It's got to be the OG Florida Gulf Coast. It's such a great name. Grambling is only down 3. Well, it is a 16v16 game. Seems like more people here are picking Auburn than UConn. Well, good. It's smart. It's hedging. Hedging, not edging. Houston, Iowa State rematch for the final. I don't think Iowa State's making it. But if there was a rematch, I think Houston would win the rematch. You have Clemson beating New Mexico because you're not an NPC. Well, technically, that means you have the 6 seed beating the 11. That is a bit of an NPC move. You have the favorite winning. Well, actually, they are they're a 1.5 point favorite. If not Creighton, who in that region? Tennessee is probably the safest bet. I don't know about Purdue, man. It's hard to pick them. They're the same team. I mean, I understand, it's a different year. I get it. They're probably going to go deeper. I have them going deeper. But they rely on Edey. They're a slower team. It's a big ask, but if Duke gets by Houston, they could make the Natty. Well, yeah, you're saying if they get by the 1 seed in their region, absolutely they could make the Natty. It's only 200 people out of millions picking Auburn. Yeah, I mean, we have a bubble. You do have Houston winning the national title. You've got Illinois, St. Mary's, and Purdue. Yeah, I don't know about Illinois and St. Mary's, brother. New Mexico going deep again. Florida going deep again. But again, we are in a bubble, let's be honest. Most brackets aren't like this. Houston winning the national title, Auburn making it, St. Mary's making it, Tennessee making it. This is an aggressive bracket. I can respect it. Yeah, there's a lot of people that like St. Mary's. I have to agree with it. I do have to agree. St. Mary's going deep, Elite 8. No, Sweet 16. And then this is the Elite 8 game. TCU is 0.1% natty pick, yourself included. Great value. I mean, it's an 8 seed, though. That's the problem. How far can St. Mary's go? Elite 8, probably the Elite 8, I would say, is their ceiling. But, I mean, they're a 5 seed. They face a team like... It's not like Arizona's unbeatable. I mean, none of these teams are unbeatable. Theoretically, St. Mary's could beat Arizona. I mean, Arizona just lost to USC and friggin' Oregon. You think NC State could continue their hot streak up until the Elite 8 versus Houston? Yeah, I can understand that thought process. It's always tough with those teams that nobody thought was going to be in it, and then they go on a crazy run. They did win a kind of a weak ACC, but I understand what you're saying. How can you watch the game? You got to turn on your TV. Or just look. It's probably on YouTube, man, honestly, on a live stream. If you really want to watch the friggin' 16v16 game, they probably are live streaming it somewhere on YouTube. On some Indian account or something. Yeah, I'm going for the perfect bracket, man. You've been aggressively studying the last 2 days, and you think people are sleeping on Texas Tech. Well, that's a very astute observation. I agree. I think Texas Tech is undervalued, and I had Texas Tech, even winning their first round game, people got angry about. Because that's NC State versus Texas Tech. Your Elite 8 is 1 versus 2, 1v3, 1v10, 5v2. Yeah, that's scaled properly. It's on Hulu? I thought it was on True TV. Do you honestly believe San Diego State is going far in the tourney again? Of course not. I have them losing in the round of 32. I've never said San Diego State was going far. Is 3 1 seeds in the Final Four fine for a 60 entry bracket? Well, what do you mean by 60 entry? You get 60 entries per person, or there's 60 people in the group? Which bracket would you suggest for me to copy you from? Well, I've actually done a few brackets that I like, but I would just say the main bracket, man. But there are a few ones that I do like. Honestly, considering Charleston over Alabama, in the end, I don't think it'll matter. It's not like Alabama's going to the Final Four. The only issue is when you have a higher seed losing in the first round, it only comes back to bite you if that higher seed makes the Final Four. Like, I would be fucked if Marquette makes the Final Four, but I don't think they're going to make the Final Four. I don't even think they're going to make the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. So, even if they win against Western Kentucky, it's not going to matter. It's inconsequential as long as they lose in the next round or the next 2 rounds. Your gut pick is Vermont over Duke. Yeah, Vermont's a team. I was looking at some analytics. They profile very well as an upset-minded, upset potential team. Which region is most likely to implode? The one with Purdue and Tennessee. 60 people in your group. Having 3 1 seeds with 60 people in your group. I mean, just don't have you. Well, I would say don't have UConn win. That's the one thing. Don't have UConn win. But it's hard because when you have such a small amount of people, I can't really tell you who they're going to pick. So it's very hard to gain leverage against people because it's just such a small quantity of people. Like with ESPN, we know who's picking who, and that's why there's great leverage picking against Florida. How confident am I in my bracket? Well, I'm very confident. I've finished in the 98th percentile before. Grambling is making a huge comeback. Trust Montana State basketball. The odds of getting a perfect bracket are 121 billion. Huh. Yeah, there's no way a perfect bracket is going to be predicted. Virginia scoring 14 points and a half. I wanted them to get under 30. How confident am I in my bracket? I'm very confident in my bracket. Arizona is great value. Well, Arizona is better than North Carolina, and they're the 2 seed. But they were ranked as the number 5 overall team. That's why North Carolina is the worst 1 seed, and Arizona is seeded with them. Arizona is out west. They're home. Think about that. $14 seed most likely to win their first. That's kind of a random question. The 14 seed. Wait, you mean 14? Yeah, I would say the 14 seed most likely. I'm leaning towards Akron. I don't think I have. Yeah, the thing is, I don't even have a. It's got to be Akron. I just can't see Illinois losing. I can't see Kentucky losing. Well, I could see Kentucky losing because of their defense, but it's got to be Akron beating Creighton. All right, man. I'll take. Listen, let me just speed through these brackets. This is. I know people are asking me to. Dude, what? You've got Auburn, Arizona, Purdue, Houston. I mean, we're scraping to try and read this. It's hard for me to read this, man. But I mean, Auburn, Houston, that's fine. Arizona is fine. Auburn is definitely a bold pick. But if they win, you're gonna end very well. This is your Final Four. Michigan State winning it all. You're obviously a Michigan State fan. It's commendable. Houston, You've got New Mexico and Auburn. Man, that's nice, man. I like that. I like how crazy it is, and then it's just one seeds. Yeah, that I like that, man. And then you do have Houston over Auburn and New Mexico going on a crazy run. St. Mary's also going on a run. That'll be interesting to see where that bracket finishes. Iowa State, Florida, Creighton, Baylor. Whoa. Whoa, that's got to be a troll bracket. Come on. that's a 0-1 seeds. 0-1 seeds. McNeese over Gonzaga and James Madison over Wisconsin have become too popular, and you believe they are trap upset picks. Yeah, but then you say Grand Canyon. You realize Grand Canyon is also a trendy upset pick. Duquesne Lover 69. You listen. Oregon has become extremely overrated. Winning the Pac-12 tournament isn't as impressive as it's cracked up to be. Well, look, nobody's saying it's that impressive. They beat Arizona. That's what's impressive. South Carolina is the far better team. That's not true at all. Even if you want to argue South Carolina is slightly better. I mean, what is this crap? Yeah, thank you for deleting that. I would not be surprised to see 0 SEC teams make it past the Sweet 16. Well, I agree. SEC teams have big defensive issues. UConn won't make the Final Four. That would be surprising, but not impossible. The usual choke suspects, Purdue, Tennessee, Illinois, all fall short of expectations. Yeah, I don't like Purdue this year. Illinois is, Illinois, it's not really a choke, though. They're in a tough region. Tennessee, I could see Tennessee losing in the second round. That was very thought-provoking, I'll give you that. Houston and Iowa State making the Final Four. Duke going deep. Okay, that's fine. Very few people I've seen, well, obviously, this isn't, people are not picking Duke, I'll say that. North Carolina beating Arizona, I would switch that, but Purdue beating Tennessee, so yeah, someone is picking Purdue, wow. And then Purdue winning the national title. It would surprise. Purdue against Iowa State. I just think there's no way that's going to happen, man. Bronny James could have did something at Oregon. Well, I don't know what Bronny James was thinking going. I think he just wanted to stay in California. That's the only team there, I guess. So, I mean, you do have other schools, but he should have went to St. Mary's. Could I see Long Beach State making the Final Four? You feel like they are due for a Sweet 16 run? That's got to be a troll, right? Thoughts on Texas, Florida, and New Mexico all winning their second round? Texas, Florida. Oh, that is possible, man. Absolutely, that's possible. I don't think all of them are going to, but 2 or 3 of them could. But it's just, can you pick the correct 2 and 3? Grambling has tied it up. Your 8-year-old cousin had filled out a bracket with McNeese on a crazy run. Wow. That's the same guy from the last stream that was spamming. Well, he's been timed out for a while. It's just, listen, the thing is, dude, I can't really tell you the Discord. There's a bot on my Discord that blocks people from joining. Well, if a lot of people try joining, like if I message the Discord in the chat, the bot will just, because there'll be a bunch of people that try joining, the bot will just auto block you. The Discord is, but this is what happens to Discord communities. They just devolve into just, it always happens, no matter what. Thoughts on you breaking Zach Edey's legs? Well, I mean, listen, you got to do what you got to do. Purdue winning it all against UConn. I understand the narrative for Purdue. I was actually, earlier this year thinking, yeah, Purdue could do it. But it just seems so like, do we really think another team is going to lose to a 16 and then win the entire thing? It just seems so, it seems too good to be true to me. And also Purdue, they're like the exact same team that they were last year. Now, I'm not saying they're going to lose in the first round. You could see Colorado going to the Sweet 16. Yeah, I agree with that. Samford over Kansas. Yeah, that's one I would probably consider doing. Grambling is up by 3. Who do you believe can take down Purdue? You're struggling to decide which team they'll choose. Well, honestly, they could lose to Utah State or TCU and make it easy. Can you explain why a perfect bracket isn't possible even though there's a solution? Well, the reason it's not possible is because you're predicting hypothetical matchups. So the first round, those are real matchups. We know they're happening. Technically, you can get all of those right. But then the second round, it's all hypotheticals. And then you have to get all of those right. And then in the third round, they're, again, hypotheticals. So you're constantly predicting hypothetical predictions. It's very hard to do that. You got Houston beating UConn in the finals. It's understandable. Which 16 seed has the best chance to get past the first weekend? Oh, man. Longwood. Purdue will lose to Grambling. Oh, not this again. Thoughts on MSU versus MSU? You've got MSU. Nice. I've got Izzo. But, who knows? They've been so inconsistent this year. Rate your Final Four: Auburn, Arizona, Houston, Creighton. Houston versus Arizona, Natty. Houston wins it all. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I would swap out Creighton, but that's pretty good. Iowa State, Baylor, and Houston versus Texas in your final. I think that's a bit too wild for my liking. I don't think Baylor's making it. Final Four: UConn, Houston, Oregon, Baylor. Oregon, no. Baylor, no. South Dakota State, 74. Iowa State, 68. Wow. Huge. You have Western Kentucky going to the Sweet 16. Yeah, you got a lot of upsets, man. Purdue, UConn, North Carolina, Kentucky. I would swap out Kentucky. You have Iowa State winning it all. Yeah, I don't like that. Where is the yearly upset bracket? I mean, I did do a bracket today where I tried to get 0 points. That's basically what it is. People able to join the group? Yeah, you're still able to join. Watched the 350 team bracket. Yeah, what a crazy bonanza that was, yeah. Which bracket is my main one? This is my main one. Why is UConn such a favorite? Because of the way Houston ended the season. They got destroyed in their last game. It was really going to be like a toss-up between Houston and UConn, and then Houston got annihilated by Iowa State, and that knocked them down. Closest locks. Well, I think Houston is a big lock to go deep. Houston's a big lock to go deep. I like Arizona to go deep. Other than that, it's hard to predict these things. I mean, you could say UConn, but Thoughts on Creighton winning the Midwest? I don't like that. Final Four, BYU, Alabama, BYU. I mean, listen, BYU is a good team. Alabama's not going to happen. Houston, Purdue, those could happen. Yeah, it's just this. I don't even know what what even is the point of this. But it doesn't even make sense to. Well, listen, the injury is not important, and I've talked about Florida at length, man. It's the injury is they're a guard heavy team. Their fifth best player got injured, a big. Analytics love Creighton. I don't know about that. Kind of. Not like they. It's not like they're definitely saying Creighton's gonna go far. I mean, listen, those Big East teams to me are overvalued, anyways. The Grambling game is a classic. 16v16, you gotta love it. Who's winning the Midwest? It's the toughest one to predict, man. It's a very tough one to predict. Why is New Mexico not on my... Well, that was the top of my bracket, man. Drake versus Iowa State would be a fun matchup. The raid alert has kicked in on the Discord. Dude, I swear that thing kicks in every 5 minutes. It's... The thing doesn't even allow people to join. I didn't even put the Discord link in the chat, and it kicked in, apparently. You want a perfect bracket so bad? Well, you would get some fame for that, for sure. It's not going to happen, though, man. Wait, Otani betting scandal? Is Otani involved in it at all? Or is it just his interpreter? Oh my, dude, could you imagine if Otani was involved in that? That's by far their baseball's biggest star. It's not even close. Grambling has the ball tied with 6 seconds left. We will take a look and take a look. Well, Seton Hall has gone ahead. Houston, Illinois, North Carolina, Texas with Houston beating North Carolina. I think that's decent. I'm not a fan of North Carolina, but they're a 1 seed. Tennessee or Creighton. I would take Tennessee. It looks bad for Otani, seriously? Dude. No, nobody got a perfect bracket, man. There might have been a kid that got a lot of picks right. He didn't get a perfect bracket. Okay, I don't know. I appreciate it. What do you think about Long Beach State making the Final Four? Yeah, man, it's... I mean, I appreciate it, but... What are we doing here? Yeah, Larry Bird's team, it's unfortunate what happened to him. Perfect bracket 9 and 1 and 9 quintillion. It's not that, because that assumes every game's 50-50, but it's not gonna happen. Well, it's saying that Otani got stolen from. Wow. They're saying this is Otani's fall guy. What an interesting story. Really bad for MLB. Grambling Montana State into overtime. Arizona over Texas Tech in the Natty. It's commendable if you do something like that. That's commendable. BYU or Illinois? I would take Illinois. Thoughts on NC State making it to the Elite Eight? Don't love it. Otani bomb threat in South Korea. Dodgers are playing in Korea, and someone called a threat before the first game. It said, there's no way that Kim Jong-un? No way, man. Well, of course the analytics aren't there for Long Beach State. They're like a 16. They're worse than 16 level seeds. St. Mary's reminds me of last year's San Diego State. Yeah, but I wouldn't base runs off of San Diego State. They had a fluke run. They were a terrible offensive team. I don't know how they made the national championship last year. We got a speed run through the Discord brackets. Are there a lot of them? Oh my God. Oh, I mean, there's... Wow, someone picking Duke. Someone actually picking Duke to win the national title. That's the first time I've seen Duke picked. Colorado State plays tomorrow against Texas. Colorado or Boise State? I think Colorado wins. Thoughts on Tennessee winning it all? Unlikely, but not impossible. Nobody is picking Tennessee, so you would have a great chance to finish very high. You have Iowa State and Duke. Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but I mean, Duke is definitely a rare one. You've got Houston, UConn, Tennessee, Arizona. That looks good, man. It's hard for me to see the format of this, honestly, brother. North Carolina. That's the first time I've seen someone. Well, oh no, there's a lot of people picking North Carolina, but North Carolina Creighton. That's a interesting matchup. All right, so the same Final Four as me. I mean, if you're going to have the same Final Four as me, I'm going to like it, obviously, to a extent. You do have Iowa State going further. Yeah, it looks good, man. Kentucky, it's not going to happen for Kentucky. And there's no way McNeese makes it. Yeah, it's not going to. 175 points. I mean, that probably would be a higher scoring game, yeah. UConn winning. Arizona, Utah State. Listen, the first time I've seen someone pick Utah State as an actual Cinderella. 99 cents you're even allowed to donate that? That's hilarious. That'll pay for that'll pay for one pump of my friggin', one little pump, one squirt of chocolate syrup for my iced coffee. Houston winning it all. UConn, Arizona, Tennessee. Yeah, that looks good, man. What in the hell is this? 97 to 94, though? I mean, it kind of looks... I mean, you got Michigan State going on the Cinderella run. I get it. Listen, if Michigan State somehow wins, it's great. It's great for you. It's a crazy bracket. Purdue as your national title. Marquette going to the Final Four. UNC, Auburn. Look, I just can't see Purdue winning it, but they are a 1 seed. Do not pick Arizona to win it all in the West Coast team. Well, that's a crappy mentality. Yes, if you want to say, oh, no West Coast team, no. Yeah, but at some point someone's going to, let's be honest. That's my mentality. But I don't have Arizona winning it, but I don't think that's the right mentality to use. Right, we don't need it though, man. We don't need the spam. Do you go with Auburn beating UConn in the or in the Final Four against Arizona? Well, look, Auburn and UConn is a huge game of the tournament. I think the best value is on Auburn beating UConn, honestly, man. Whether or not you want to have them beat Arizona, I'd probably take Arizona, but are you almost through the rest of the brackets? I think that's got to be the rest of the. No, they just keep going. Grambling State to win it all. You edited it in. You didn't even pick Grambling State. There's no 16 seed. Houston. Ooh, St. Mary's. Yeah, I've seen people like St. Mary's, huh? St. Mary's is a very interesting pick. I just don't think St. Mary's and Creighton would be great picks. Auburn, I understand the narrative. Houston, obviously, I understand the narrative. Houston, Illinois. Illinois, I don't think they have the defense. The other ones are fine. Michigan State, Michigan State is a shot in the dark. They're just a really inconsistent team. UConn, North Carolina. Well, yeah, you went very, very, very chalky. Maybe it'll end up working out. You get all the one seeds. That's your best chance. Mountain West is really good. I don't think it's that good, honestly. I like two of the Mountain West teams. I do like Nevada decently. I like New Mexico. It's a mosh pit. They had one team go on a run last year. It was a fluke. I wouldn't automatically say there's going to be a lot more teams. You have a tourney with Washington State in your Final Four. That's the first time I've seen that. Would Houston be dogs to UConn? Yeah, they would be. UConn would be favorites against everyone. Okay, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. I'm going to say no, I'm not. Both teams got some fine cheerleaders. I wouldn't know, I'm not watching. It's cheering you up. It's making your little Pokemon poke out. Praying Colorado loses so Texas has an easier path. Yeah, Wait, hold on. Colorado. Oh, you mean Colorado State? Because Colorado, I was like, there's no way Colorado faces. Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Is Drake a good sleeper? Yeah, I wouldn't pick them, honestly, man. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It doesn't make any sense. Why Colorado State already won. I know he's talking about the playing game, but he wants Texas to have an easier path. I don't know. What would Colorado have to do with that? It doesn't make any sense. Met Florida. You hope Florida loses? Thoughts on Shohei being a criminal? I don't know. It just broke. It's We'll have to see what comes out about it. Obviously, it's terrible for MLB. Colorado State or Texas? I would say Texas, but they're only 2.5-point favorites. I thought they'd be a little bit more. I guess that's what I should expect from a 7v10 game. How would I rank the 3 seeds? Illinois, Kentucky. Well, yeah, the 3 seeds are tough to rank, man. I don't love the 3 seeds. I would probably say Kentucky first, Illinois, then Creighton, then Baylor, maybe. Nebraska as a sleeper? I don't think so, man. Mom's Final Four is UConn versus North Carolina, Houston versus Kansas, with Kansas winning it all. Well, I mean, Kansas obviously dealing with injuries. I do like the 4 seeds, man. The 4 seeds are good. I think Auburn's the best 4 seed. My biggest upset is Western Kentucky over Marquette. Grambling up by 6. Yeah, they're going to win that game. They're going to win that game for sure. SMU again. SMU in the final? Jesus, man. SMU, Houston, Tennessee, UConn. Excuse me, not SMU, St. Mary's. St. Mary's in the final. There's just no way St. Mary's goes that deep. Thoughts on Kentucky making the Final Four? There's no way I would predict it. Yeah, but is Otani getting suspended is the question. I would imagine it's going to take a while for it all to break. Favorite Jolly Rancher? The red one, maybe? I haven't had a Jolly Rancher in a while. Can New Mexico State win it all this year? No, man. Or just New Mexico, sorry. Indiana State comes back. Good for them. I like Indiana State. St. Mary's sucks. Teams that slow it down. Yeah, well, that was San Diego State last year. What are the odds of Purdue winning it all? Not likely, but they are a 1 seed. Otani didn't even do anything. Yeah, but people think it's probably a fall guy situation. Bro, quit ducking me. You know the Mountain West is the 3rd best conference. 3rd best conference. It's got a bunch of decent teams, I guess. I don't think it has elite teams, though. You got Charleston beating Alabama because Bama plays 0 defense. Well, Kentucky really plays no defense as well. Grambling wins. Blue, grape, green apple, watermelon, cherry. No, I do like cherry. But you're right, blue is really good as well. Bill Self is joined. Is basketball my favorite sport? Probably. It's probably football. Can Florida beat Kentucky? Of course. What realistic upset would change the outlook of the tournament? Well, it would have to be like a big favorite, like a top 3 or 4 favorite losing. It would have to be UConn like losing in the round of 32. I don't know if that's realistic, but maybe Houston losing in the round of 32. Houston losing to like I don't think they're going to lose to either one of those teams that they could face, but does Grambling face Purdue now? Is that the matchup? There's no way Purdue loses that. Come on. Duke versus James Madison. I like James Madison in that potential second round matchup. Northwestern over UConn. I like Northwestern, man. I don't think they're going to beat UConn. Am I making 25 brackets? I'll probably get to like 20 or something. I don't see the point in making 25 brackets, you know? I only get graded by one bracket probably here. Do I smoke? Smoke what? Who wins, Dayton or Nevada? Flip a coin. Probably Nevada. Saying Bama plays no defense is NPC. I mean, it can be NPC. It's also true. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? Purdue is going to lose. Which round do you think? I mean, dude, is Grambling seriously starting this narrative that they're going to upset Purdue? Oh my God. Grambling University. Let's see, when is this game supposed to be starting soon? Stetson Grambling incoming, absolutely. If UConn somehow loses to FAU, well, it would open up for Illinois and Auburn. Yeah, Biden didn't even make that bracket, man. It's all a joke. It's a chalk bracket too. FAU Sweet 16, I don't think so. Indiana State should have made it instead of Boise. Maybe instead of Virginia. Raiders signed Deshaun Kaiser to a 2-year, maybe $17 deal. $17. Maybe. Thoughts on Texas versus Oregon in a Sweet 16 game? That would be a pick 'em, honestly. That would be a toss-up game. Chalk picks from analysis. Yeah, well, I mean, they're graded on them, so of course they're going to go chalk. Akron in the Sweet 16. I don't hate it, man. Drake or Iowa State. In that hypothetical matchup, Iowa State. Final Four, UConn, St. Mary's, Creighton, Houston. Not terrible, man. Not analytically a really good Final Four. Analytically a really good Final Four. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the stream tonight. When it comes to tomorrow, I may be on at around 7 o'clock. We will have to see. Will Biden win Nevada? Well, I would say right now, no, he won't. It's a long ways away to the election. How is Seton Hall not easily winning? It's the NIT, man. All right, that's gonna do it, guys.